Well, Caleb, I know one player that you're buying a lot of stock in, and that's a certain point guard at Oklahoma State. Let's talk about Cade Cunningham, our first player on our stars of the show. We got two players we're going to talk about. Cade Cunningham is first. Caleb covered most of the first player. I covered most of the second player. So, Caleb, why don't you let him know why Cade is your star?
I just feel like he's going to be the number one pick consensus. Like, I don't think there's anybody that's really going to challenge him. I know some people are high on Mobley, Suggs, but like I feel like Cade's in a tier of his own. I don't think it's even close, really. Cade went to Oklahoma State because his brother's an assistant coach there. Kind of skipped out on Kentucky, Duke, all those guys because he wanted to keep it in the family. Which I know people are going to overlook that,
Wow, I didn't
but
know that.
yeah, but I know people are going to overlook that and say, "Oh, that's just him wanting to go where his brother is." But for me, I take pride in that. Shows he's loyal, right? Shows he could have went to Duke, Kentucky, but nah, he wants to go to a team where he's gonna be able to be with family and kind of be himself. Granted, that could just be well, he only went there because he knows he's gonna be there for a year. If that's the case, why not go G League, take the money, run? You know what I mean? But he went to Oklahoma State, and I think that says a lot about his character, right? He's loyal, so you can bet on him if you're a tanking team, bad team. You could bet on him wanting to be there for the long haul. You don't really have to worry about his focus and effort because he's given Oklahoma State a tremendous effort. They just took down number 7 Oklahoma, and he was amazing. He had 40 points and 11 rebounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can score at all three levels. Great finisher, great free throw shooter, great three-point shooter. Mid-range, just as good. Okay, he can take somebody in the post. He has what I think is the most underrated skill is positional versatility. I think in a league where guys are expected to be able to play a positionless basketball, he's one of those guys that can play it. He's played 1 through 5 at Oklahoma State. His listed position is point guard, but he's played 1 through 5. Granted, at the NBA, I think he's more of a 1 through 4 player. Like I don't think he's going to play the 5, but positional versatility is a big thing for me. That's what I have as my number one strength for him because that is a very big strength coming into the league. You know, it's funny because even 5 years ago, that's called a tweener, right? A guy that doesn't have like a solidified position. People get worried about that. Not anymore. That's encouraged now, and people like it. Catch and shoot is a weakness for him. So if you're looking at a team like Oklahoma City where they want him, who can SGA play off the ball? Because I don't think Cade's going to be good right away playing off the ball. Another weakness for Cade is his high dribbling. He dribbles high, and his handle is not really the most tight. But at the same time, at the next level, if he's going up against fours, it's going to be more than fine. And you might want to work on it, but you can work on handle. Jaylen Brown's handle whenever he came in the league was horrific. He worked on it. I think Cade's a hard enough worker that he's going to work on that sort of stuff. People were going to bring up assist numbers. Again, I sent a video in the group chat. I don't know if you watched it of him hitting a roller from like almost at half court on the like perfectly, spun him right into the shot, and he just missed the shot. And it's like that's an assist that he missed out on. That's why I think specifically in college, assist numbers are really overhyped because 9 times out of 10, those kids that you're passing to, if you're not going to a team like Duke or Kansas or Kentucky or something, 9 times out of 10, those kids you're passing to,
They
they're
stink.
not going they're not going to be at the next level. So assists are they're situational, right? Like sometimes they matter, sometimes they don't. I don't think in Cade's case they matter that much. Defensively, he's fine. Like he's really good defensively too. There's very little holes in his game. Like whenever I listed those weaknesses, I'm nitpicking. Like I'm nitpicking his catch and shoot ability. Like, do you understand how ridiculous that is? If that's what I have to list for a guy's weakness, he's solid all the way across the board. And I think because that he's a consensus number one pick. I don't think I'd take any guy over this guy.
Yeah, from what I've been watching, I really like Cade Cunningham as well. He's super dynamic point guard, like you said. He's tall, he's versatile. He can pass, he can dribble. I saw a move from him the other day, and we just talked about it. I believe it was yesterday when he had the ball at the top of the key and he did a crossover. He did multiple crossovers. He did the half little shimmy shake, came up, pump fake, steps back, takes a shot, drains it, and it just showed me that his game is it just has it all. For a point guard, he can do everything. 40 points again at Oklahoma State, a school that's not very good, a school that not much help on that team. He's getting a lot of the attention. His usage right now is one of the highest usages for any college player.
Mhm.
Now, some may look at that as, oh, okay, well, that's why his numbers are looking so good because he's at a bad school with a higher usage. Well, no. When you're at a higher usage, when you're at a worse school, that just means that you have more of the pressure, you got
Mhm.
more on your plate, and you got to handle most of the offense. And let's keep in mind, guys, this is not the small forward of the team. This is the point guard. He's running the show.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, other teams are scouting him. The only player they're really scouting pre games is Cade. And the fact that they're scouting him and putting all this pressure on him, double teaming him. If you saw at the end of the fourth quarter, they threw the double on him. He lost the ball, turned the ball over. But that's because they don't want him to win. They want it to force him to put it in someone else's hands. And that's stuff you see with superstars
Mhm.
in the NBA now, like Luca,
And
superstars that can hit those shots. So
yeah,
I'm excited for Cade. I think Cade has a super bright future.
I think when people bring up the whole the whole usage rate and everything. Like that's just a nitpicking thing because it's not like if he was doing that and having a high turnover percentage, high like horrible efficiency, yeah, then I'd say okay, it's a little bit concerning. But he's doing it efficiently. And the turnovers he has, like they're just I mean, they're silly turnovers because they're in the aspect of sometimes he's trying to create too much or trying to you know what I mean? Like experimenting a little bit too much on the court. And at the college level, that's what I want to see. Like I want to see him, I want to see the good and the bad. So whenever he's experimenting with like a cross court pass, just swinging it over with his hand, I want to see that stuff because 9 times out of 10, he's making the right play. It's just sometimes he tries a little bit too much and he gets turnover out of it. So I'm living with it. I think they're fine. Like I think he's a fine prospect. Like there's no holes in his game.
Whoa.
What can I say?
All right, where do you see Cade in the NBA? Do you see him like what is his ceiling? We talk about ceilings a lot today. That seems to be the catchphrase of the day. But where do you have Cade as far as point guards in the NBA in the future, and just as far as players? Do you see MVP potential? What are some of the things you see from him?
He has top 10 player in the league potential for sure. And whenever you're a guy that has that sort of potential, there's no really ceiling on your potential. You know what I mean? Like you can easily be the number one guy in the league. I like he's definitely going to be offensively, I think a 25 point per game guy at the very least, especially with how the league is going now where you can score a lot easily. There's a scoring boom going on right now. Like we're seeing more scoring in the league this season than ever before. Is that credit to the short offseason? Guys aren't really going as hard defensively, maybe, but we'll have to see if this sticks. I think it will. I think this is just the way the NBA wants the game to be played now. I think they want high scoring games. I think they're over the mid 2000s 77-63 final scores. I think they're done with those, but we'll see. I think his ceiling is like 25 points, 6.5 assists, 6.5 rebounds. I think that's like a good baseline for what his prime could be. I'm not saying that's what he's going to do his rookie year. Rookie year, you never know. A guy could struggle early. But what I see from Cade, I have no reason to worry. I think whoever lands him is getting a generational prospect.
I can't disagree with you on that. I feel like Cade's potential is super high. As far as point guards, I look at the point guards right now. You got guys like Trey. We did a poll on it. Trey, De'Aaron, SGA, John Morant. K just looks better than all of them. He looks like he's
Mhm.
better than all. He looks like he can do more than all four of them. I feel like if you're ranking them, I would put Cade as the number one. I would want Cade on my team to start. And yeah, we're putting a lot of stock in this guy, and we think that he has potential to be one of the best players in the league.